Alexis, you wrote an article for Film Courage. You wrote a few, one of which was Play Your Cards Right. I think it was from March of last year. You give 10 tips. First one, get involved. 2, do it for free. Do projects you have to finish. Be open to collaboration. Say yes, which is a running theme, and I like that theme. It's great. Promote yourself. At some point, start getting paid, which I think I can hear the cheers coming. Play your cards right. Don't get distracted, and enjoy yourself and be inspired. Which one of those 10 do you think is the most crucial? Of course, besides getting paid. Everyone wants the getting paid one.
Which would I say is the most crucial?
Or are they all necessary? Maybe they're all part of
They've all been important to me. I think one of the things, doing projects you have to finish, for me is particularly important. Just because I tried, I remember when I was trying to be a dance music artist, and so many tracks I'd never finish. So that concerned me. And I remember the first time, it talks about it in the article actually, the first time that I had to finish a project was for this 1 hour 20 silent film, a classic silent film called South. And I had to write an hour and 20 minutes. I'd never written an hour and 20 minutes of music in my life, and I committed to it, and I did it, and it went into a brochure that it was going to be happening, and the ticketing was done, and I realised it just changed. I think from that point on, it changed my whole approach to things. You know, when you have a deadline, when you have to do something, because I'm not very good at setting myself deadlines. I always say to myself, not going to rush this project. I'm not going to rush it. I'm going to get it all done. I'm going to get the most stressful stuff done at least a month and a half before, and then it's a week and a half before I'm like, oh gosh, I still haven't done this. I still haven't done that. I still haven't done this. I'm trying to think what else on there has really...
Well, be open to collaboration. I find that interesting because do you think sometimes it's better to do things yourself? I know you said that you brought in someone great from Barclays that helped out and really was a strong person in that project. But do you think sometimes it's better to just have it be your own vision, or is that maybe too selfish? Maybe that's the wrong attitude.
It's
too many cooks in the kitchen.
You do need to keep your own vision. I've worked a lot with the two people that have been like my mentors have been Professor Eduardo Miranda at Plymouth University. He runs the research group, the Interdisciplinary Centre for Computer Music Research, and Simon Eibel, who's the Director of Music at Plymouth University. Now, I've worked a lot with Simon Eibel because he takes what are sometimes quite geeky and impractical ideas, and he says, how can we make this presentable to an audience, and not just to an audience of computer music geeks, but to a broader audience, to anyone who's interested. Simon's very much into kind of getting the community interested in the general public interested in what's being done, and introducing them to something slightly new. Now, sometimes he would say, what about if we did it this way? And a lot of the time I'd be like, yes, good. Yeah, I remember my breakthrough piece, Sunlight Symphony, which is the first time I got in the media, like nationally, a few times for that. My original plan was because what happened in Sunlight Symphony is you put light sensors on this huge building, and they were connected to a computer music instrument. And what would happen as the sun rose over Plymouth, my hometown, it would play the building like a musical instrument. So it's called Sunrise Symphony, and you'd hear this music getting louder and more complex as the lobby of the building got lighter. Now, my original plan was this piece would be 24 hours a day, 365 days a year, with 32 light sensors. And Simon Eibel said to me, can you do it with 8 light sensors in half an hour?
Sure, no problem.
And I said, I can't remember, I probably flustered. I was like, maybe, yeah. But I thought, well, this is a heck of an opportunity. You know, this is, once again, I was in the first year or so of my career. People tended to think of me as a scientist and a technologist, and rather than an artist. And I thought, I've just got to say yes. I've got to say yes to this. And it was, and the thing is with it, it didn't compromise the core of the vision. And this is what and the core of the vision was, sun plays a building like a musical instrument as it rises. That was the core of the vision. And it's been the same with a lot of my pieces, a lot of my performances or the film. There's been a heart of the piece which has come from my heart and which I will defend. It's my job to defend it, because there's a temptation. Is there a temptation? It's not really been a temptation, but one possible route with a piece is when it gets really hard, that you compromise, you know, a lot, like the heart of the project. But what's the point? I'm not in this. I know sometimes people think I'm a massive self-publicist and I just like to have my name in the papers or whatever, but it's not that. I do like my name in the papers, but I like my project. My project's a part of me. It's me and my project. Seeing that recognised is important to me, and therefore what the project is important to me. So if I haven't defended the heart of it, and sometimes I've had collaborators, by meaning the name is there, I've said to them, I will call it By Me and You, this performance, this project, I'll say it's By Me and You. And I've had them say the week before, when it's going really getting bad, saying, look, we could just fake this bit, or we could just drop that bit of it. And I'm not a great people person, like I said, I'm not a great negotiator, that's one of the things, but I just know I have to say to them, probably with a similar tone of voice that I said to Simon Eibel, the director of music, you know, maybe can we just keep it the same way, you know, but this time defending the heart of the project. And I find it very hard to do. I hate conflict. So, but you got to do it, otherwise what's the point? If I lose the heart of the project, what's the point? And my job is to know one of my jobs is to know the difference between the heart and the stuff that can be compromised.